Bigbossjock, day 156 of the protest, episode 99 of the radio show. Mighty 750 kilohertz AM. Soy yo, el gran jefe. Al intro a mí, nuestro único Dios, nuestro Señor, es quien me ayuda a hacer esa rima. Y yo digo, gracias a nuestro único Dios, nuestro Señor. Radio Rebelde, siguiendo con día 156 de protesta. Episodio 99 del programa, el radio show del gran jefe, emitiendo vivo y directo por la poderosa 750 kilohertz AM. Otro día siendo igual. Oh yeah. I don't want them not to see. I wasn't holding the sign going across the street. Walking up to the F.B.I. Here on the corner. What's in the news? Oh, I think it ties right in with what is written. Flag marker to the mark. Baltimore riots 2 years ago. That was finished. It also ties in with that. And Yankee Sam this week now has declared, why aren't they known as white racists instead of white nationalists? And why aren't they Caucasian racists? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's something for you, the listener, to think about. You're allowing Yankee Sam with the 6 corporations to give you the titles, the slogans, the symbols. Logic thinking tells me that the authorities are encouraging what's going on. So if they're encouraging, then in some way it favors them to have the population go out and fight due to race. Meaning, if you care what's better for yourself, then you wouldn't do what they're encouraging you to do. You would take another path, because you would realize that it benefits them and it doesn't benefit you. Otherwise, they wouldn't need to deceive you into acting. The authorities could present the facts in a way that would, you using your logic thinking, you would either be in favor or not. That's not what's happening. You're being deceived by subliminal programming. And no one's sitting back saying, well, wait a second. Where do these titles come from? Who's defining this group, the nationalists? I mean, come on, people. Somebody's life mattered for years, making that group exclusive, in turn, excluding everyone else. Who made up that slogan? Who's the founder? Where'd the idea come from? and also to use Yankee Sam's terror group's colors, black and white. The African American community is aligning themselves. They're led by the male queer African descended person. You're supposed to talk person talk. I mean, look at any time that your group, who identifies, who's the spokesperson, they go right straight direct to the one who crosses over. I mean, because Caucasians can be bisexuals, so they take the bisexual male, could be the female, who's African descended, to represent the whole group, the African descended people community. And I'm tired of calling you American. If you are catching on to that, I'm not doing that any longer. I refuse. You're no more American than I am. If anything, I'm 6% more than you are. Well, I got 6% native indigenous blood in me. And that's more than I can say for most of you. I mean, they are the original Americans. And I'm talking to every group other than the natives of this land known as America. Why do I have to tag America onto your title? Every time, otherwise it's an insult. But yet you can call me Caucasian. Well, I'm not the same amount American as you are? Why isn't it mandatory? Why are you so sensitive? You should think about it. You've been programmed to be ashamed of who you are. You're not from the black race. That isn't a race. The word Africa for the Yankee American who is of that descent is a shameful word. And we all must be very careful. Otherwise, the African descended person gets offended. And I'd have to say, watching Charlottesville last week, I don't identify with either group. And that's who's going to be out there fighting Yankee Sam's race war. And all that will be accomplished is the instating of martial law. The African American community, they call it culling the herd. You're gone. The racists at the top, that's what they have planned for you. And you went. After the bait, all that hook is set. And you're getting tugged along the whole way. You're being educated by the 6 corporations that you can't fill yourself full of hate, that you don't practice discrimination, that only a person of non-color, the transparent ones, oh no, we won't want to do that, that sounds favorable. I mean, I would say, I don't feel that I'm the color of the white paper, nor the white car. These titles that the authorities are placing to people, the speech is ignorant. It's filling the people full of hate. You people are going to go out there and fight because of race, when you should be going out and turning that rage against Yankee Sam. In this country, the Yankee United States, that are quite divided. From the time you're born, you are programmed to not integrate. It's in every aspect of this society that the groups stay separated. Look at what's on the screen. How many of them talk about integration and how we're going to further unite? Or do they another time mention the divide and complain about the days of segregation, comparing that to slavery, overinflating the situation? I mean, at least the description, creating for an illusion. If Barry had cared about you, you people are sold on the cult leader. speaking back to the African descended community, you're duped. Being fooled? Have been for many years. Look at right now, don't put any attention to anything an idol says. And now look at your situation. And take a look for yourselves. Not because of Bozo 1, 2, or 3, or the latest, greatest out there on the field. Athletics. None of those people. Music. Look to your local community. To your neighborhood. People that you respect. Problem is, they look to the idols also. Start to study. Open your eyes. Realize Yankee Sam is not going to educate you to get out of the situation you're in. They program for you to be there. Unless you take initiative, you're going to fall right into the trap. Who's going to suffer the most is who's terming themselves black. The African descended people. They took care of it themselves for Yankee Sam. They're demanding because the 6 corporations showed them that when they had their chance, when their color was up at the podium, I mean, come on, compared to Donald, it shows that they could have shined, and not only they could have shined, the whole nation could have shined the whole time. But it was all because of discrimination. And when finally they were there at the podium, oh, look at the progress. But now we're back to digressing because the supremacist isn't able to be up at the podium because of discrimination. It's time to go and claim your own nation. That's right to you, African descended community. Unless you open your eyes and begin to realize that you've been fooled. In the direction you're headed, worshiping idols, listening to what they have to say and then applying it to your lives, and more your ideology than your lives. I guess it affects both. First the ideology, then you behave a certain way. You, the public. This is the Bigbossjock. I'll be continuing on here in a moment. It's quite upsetting watching these things unfold and the people are going right into the trap. I mean, look at this is with sincerity. I'm worried for you, African American community.
Every word of it.
Be careful with that stick there.
I already know, sir.
Yeah. Have a good day. You're pointing that at me. Some pedestrians are quite rude. Point a long, sharp object, even if it is blunt at the end, still would puncture. Out here doing the protest. I want only God right here inside. He's who helps me do this rhyme. And I do say thank you to our Father in heaven, Allah, our one only God. And when I come back, I'll mention about that trap. It's set for you, African descended people, along with the Caucasians. And I'm not going to forget you Caucasians. You weren't forgotten during those 8 years. You were just made to feel as if you were. And I'm going to talk about the psychology and what's going on. Our Yankee Sam is pushing Caucasians who never felt racist before in their lives to join extremist groups. Well, because somebody's life mattered. And theirs didn't for year after year. And they're quite upset. And they're out there and they're saying, hey, wait a second. They do matter. Well, I understand this. But you need to understand, that's you that are out there doing that this was all planned. So that you would react in the way that you are. That's why somebody's life mattered, and they were called a civil rights movement instead of a terror group. They were exercising their civil rights, not civil disobedience. Bigbossjock signing off momentarily. Soy yo, el gran jefe. Al entro a mí nuestro único Dios, nuestro Señor. Los que me ayudan a hacer ese rima. Y yo digo gracias a nuestro único Dios, nuestro Señor. Firmando fuera.